Hey everyone, and welcome back to Planet Zoo, and welcome back to Yosemite Valley. Yeah, welcome in a new video, and today it's gonna be a very special one because that marks a new start in Yosemite Valley and essentially also a little bit of a change in my videos. So we are starting today with the Giraffe area in Yosemite Valley. Now, if you guys are not familiar with Yosemite Valley, this is an ongoing project I'm running for over 2 years now, and it has been almost finished. But today I decided to rip apart one entire area which used to be here for a very long time, and I'm going to explain during the episode to why I did this. But before we do so, here are a couple of little changes I need to announce. So first of all, we have a new thing in the video, and that is called the comment of the video. I'm going to choose a random comment of you guys from any video, and it's going to be shown in this video somewhere. So stick with me if you maybe see your own comment in the video. This is going to be something we will have in every video right now to bring a bit more of dynamic into the videos. We have also some very cool new overlays that help me to create my videos a bit more in a nice way. A big thanks goes also out there to an old friend of mine who did them for me, and he did a good job, and he also convinced me to change the style a little bit. I'm very happy and very pleased with the new style, so yeah, you will see this throughout the video that we have some new transitions, some new effects here and there, and this is now finally something that is going to be used across all videos and making the videos hopefully a bit more enjoyable for you guys and also a bit more easy to remember that these are my videos. So that is the pattern of it. But I don't want to talk about the video stuff too much. I want to talk to you guys about the change of Yosemite Valley. Now, first and most importantly, I have to say a big sorry to Mr. Haribo. I actually did delete your wonderful ape house. I love the ape house that Haribo did. It's architectural and stuff. It's insane. The usage of pieces and the way he did the outside here in Yosemite was just stunning. But after such a long time, I kind of have to lean in to the many comments that actually felt this wasn't fitting Yosemite as a style anymore. I think we really have to say anymore because the time where Haribo put it in, this entire area used to be empty, and he basically put this in as a first iteration of Africa, if you will. And I had the chance to follow this more modern approach, which I didn't. So it's all on me that I basically went for a different style, and I kind of went with the Yosemite more rural, more wood and stone kind of basic building style that is very much inspired by some distinguished examples of lodges and buildings in Yosemite Valley actually in real life. So yeah, it had to make space now for something. And I will also actually change the entire idea of this area. Now, this big ape house has been a central element of this area, but also it destroyed a little bit of the gas flow, simply because it was such a massive structure in the middle that I couldn't really do anything about how the people walk through it, because there was essentially only one way to go through, and this is going to be massively changed. Also, we are opening up for a bit more of a delivery kind of way, so that actually our deliveries are possible to be made from the entrance towards this African area. So that is very important to me, and I'm quite happy with how it turned out, to be honest. It really shows that it's going to be something that was needed. And I'm going to also build a lot of different habitats in here. So we will have, to spoil things right away, we will have this habitat over here, which is the giraffes, but it will also have the zebras and some antelopes in there as like an African habitat. We will have the gorillas here, and we will potentially move the chimpanzees over here, maybe together with the bonobos. I'm not quite sure if I do it that way or if I will separate them, but that means also we will have a big change to the old chimpanzee house in Yosemite, which potentially will be used for something else, but I need to change that building. There is something that bugs me about this as well. So yeah, you can expect a change of the chimpanzee house in the future as well. Quite a lot happening, to be honest, but that's just the way it is, you know, evolvement over time. This building over here is something I'm relatively proud of, I have to say. This is going to be a little interactive shelter, so to say. This is something you used to see in more modern zoos quite a lot. The giraffe house is having kind of, or the giraffe houses have kind of raised pathways, or like almost like these kind of catwalks, almost like where people are on a higher point and they can actually see the giraffes up close, like the heads and stuff, because they're on a balcony or something, and then the giraffes come close because there's something to feed. And actually this is exactly what I'm doing over here. You can see these pinkish squares I used, the blocks there, to show me as an indicator how tall the giraffes are. And you can see I'm just testing a couple of things here, and yeah, that's just the way it is going to be. This is going to be a interactive shelter where the guest can see the giraffes up close. You can see I'm going to put some enrichment in here, and here's the comment of the episode. Adam Muhammad said, name a better love story than Rudi and the Yosemite. Well, in fact, there is none on my channel, I guess. It really, you know, took the place of Isla Napali, and I think it did a very good job. So thank you for your comment. I really love the fact that you guys keep commenting and keep interacting with me in that way, and I kind of wanted to pay something back. So maybe sometimes we even have like 2 comments of the episode. Who knows? And just to give you a bit of an idea, this is going to be random. Like, I'm taking them from any video. That means it's not going to be from Yosemite. I took this one because it was fitting for today, but it could also be a comment from Jurassic World Evolution or from Prehistoric Kingdom or any other first look or whatever. So make sure to keep commenting wherever you are and watch my stuff. You know, that helps me a lot, obviously, but also you have the chance now to get in. And here's a very cool thing I came up with. I'm saving all the comments in one folder, and at the end of the year I'm going to make a little giveaway of some DLC codes and stuff, and I will give them away among all the comments that you guys made and that made it actually into the video. So I'm trying to keep this going for a very long time now, and maybe even for the next DLC I'm going to make my first round, but so that you do know it's not, well, kind of, you know, for nothing. It is actually for something, so you guys can win DLC codes or whatever. The exact prices will be, you know, subject to change, but this is something I wanted to do for a while now, and here you go. This is my new kind of little engagement tool for you. Please let me know in the comments down below if you like it or not, because I always, you know, like feedback on that. So if you guys want to know more about this, if you guys think it's a good thing, or if you could imagine something else, let me know in the comments down below. But now it is time to talk about essentially what I'm doing over here. I will show you in the real-time part in detail what I have in mind with this area, but you can see already that this giraffe area is completely different from what we have. I'm trying to reuse some of the stuff that Haribo implemented just to keep the story going and just keep some of his stuff alive, just because it was too good to not. And so I'm using some of the wall sets and stuff just because I like the style. I changed the color a little bit so to make it a bit more fitting for Yosemite. But yeah, we're making some stables over here, and you can see there's like a huge window on one hand side that allows you to have a look inside. I'm still thinking about making like a little shutter so that you could essentially also close it off. But on the other hand, you know, once the zoo is closed, no one would actually look inside, and you know, that's basically it. But I wanted to have this big stable. At this point we only have 2 giraffes, but I imagine we would have like 3 or 4, and this would be the perfect stable for them. They have a lot of space. You can close it off. It's good for the winter times. You can, you know, we'll have some heaters and stuff in there, making some headlights as well. Or like top lights or whatever, like windows in the ceiling, you know. I think they're called headlights, but I'm just not like entirely sure. And yeah, so I tried a couple of things here with the pathway. I'm not 100% happy with it quite yet, but I have things in mind how to change it. For now, this is the layout we are going for, but it might be changing a little bit, at least to the right hand side. There's a couple of thoughts that went into it, but I have to show this in the real-time part to give you a bit of a better idea, because in the time time-lapse, it's just a little bit too quick, everything. And yeah, I'm reusing the old shelter of the African area because I still like the shelter. And this is going to be the shelter for the more smaller animals, so for the zebra and the antelope, that can have a separate space over here, and it's kind of divided by this little creek running down. Another thing I was missing, the integration of nature a little bit. So this creek will go actually into the river, so it's a little bit of a connection, a bit of a better storyline now, making sure that there's a lot of more water feeding the actual area. And we do even have this connection already existing next to the aquatic house. So this is the creek that goes here and joins the creek that also exists with the beavers, which are just close by over here. So you can see I'm trying to tie things together now. I'm trying to really make sure everything works together in a way that it has to work together. Otherwise, it just doesn't really feel like Yosemite. And I think I managed to establish such a strong Yosemite Valley vibe in here that I do myself a favor in continuing this and in making sure that everything is Yosemite-ish. I do have to say though, one thing that is a little bit confusing is I thought that I might even regain some FPS by deleting Haribo's ape house, because he used a insane amount of little pieces. Like every wall set contained of, I think, one normal wall that normally is like the 4-meter wall contained out of 23 pieces already, and imagine with the size he had and everything. But actually the opposite happened. The frame rate is way worse than it was before. I was going like an easy 35 to 40 FPS even in pause mode, and still nearly 20 FPS in Tejet cam. And now I'm down to like 20-ish FPS in pause mode and nearly 10 FPS in play, which really, I don't know exactly what it was. I'm not sure if something happened with my computer along the line. Maybe that could also always be a little thing, you know. I will never try to say it's always good, like, you know, never know. But yeah, I just don't know. I just don't know really why it happened. I hope it is going to be better next time I load it. Maybe it is because the game has to recalculate so many things now, and I need to keep that running. In fact, this is a little tip I can give you. I just found this to be very helpful, that if you are building in a zoo and you used to build in pause mode a lot, what I think many people do, it is always helpful at some point to keep the game running for like an hour or so, just to make sure that all the animals and stuff can refresh, that if they need to go to quarantine and stuff, you can have it done, and you know, all these kind of things that are in the background of the management aspect of the game that still happens even though it is in sandbox mode. Makes a whole bunch of sense to clean that off every once in a while. I always figured that helped me out a lot in terms of making sure that the performance is good again, because I really still think that mostly the calculation of new traversable area is the biggest issue. And potentially this is also the same that applies here, because I make it a completely new area. I got rid of all the animals, and now everything has to be recalculated by the game. Maybe if that's done, the performance will be back to what it was. Yeah, just hoping that this is the case, because otherwise that would be a really bad thing. Because in play mode it was barely even playable anymore, and that's the bad thing, because if that happens, and if it is irreversible, I have to stop the project, because honestly, Yosemite can only survive if I can do at least a tour at the end that is decent enough. If not, I have to go back to the last save that is doable. I mean, you know, I love the project as much as ever, but the performance issue and not being able to show it off and enjoy it in its full glory really destroys the fun for me. And so, yeah, I think it would be... Well, let me know in the comments down below what you think. Would you rather see this being finished, like entirely finished, but just have like a little bit of a choppy moving picture show? I don't know. Or would you also go for like having a final tour that is at least decent to watch and enjoy? You know, there is not really much I can do about my computer. It's basically maxed out at this point. There's not really that much better hardware that I can get. There's maybe one Ryzen CPU that would get a couple of FPS out, and maybe now actually there's no Intel CPU at this point that is better than mine, so at least not in overclocked mode. So yeah, there's not really much I can do. I mean, surely I could get the newest graphics card, but as you can tell from nearly everyone who did some tests, the graphics card doesn't really matter in this game after you have a certain decency in your graphics card. I think it's everything from the, let's say, 1070 NVIDIA cards and upwards are basically enough for everything you want to do, even in 4K, simply because the game is heavy on CPU because all the calculations. Now, yeah, that's just something to keep in mind. Yeah, over here, just to keep on going, I reused a couple of elements from the other area in Yosemite because I did delete this first part, but there is still a lot more to delete. I didn't do that quite yet because I don't know what exactly I'm going to reuse and what not. But this entire area of the old kind of African habitat is going to be entirely removed, and I'm going to renaturalize that. Is that even a word? I'm just bringing back nature, because I feel like the lower part of Half Dome has to be nature. It still kind of never grew on me that we have the pathway and stuff, everything really directly connected to that. So we will push it all forward to the lakeside. So the closest we can get is around the lake and not further into the nature. We will keep a bit of a natural, like, little foresty area, which will have maybe some badgers and stuff in there and other stuff that I don't want to do like a habitat for, but I want to have them roaming free in the wild. That's the idea. And just to give this a bit more of a natural feeling, and then fence this off with like a chain link or so, that this would be the edge of Yosemite, because I really don't feel how it is right now. But you will see this in a way better way in the real-time part, because that is going to give you a better insight on how this all ties together. Because honestly speaking, the time-lapse is kind of crazy, because I spent so many hours. It was like 8 hours I spent on this, and trust me, I cut out so much, because deleting stuff takes ages with these amount of pieces. Like, I'm not lying if I say it took like a minute to delete one group or something, because there were so many pieces in that the game just needs to calculate that, and it's absolutely mad. I just sat here and listened to Harry Potter. I think the Goblet of Fire is at the moment. I am again, just I don't know, I think it's the third time that I'm re-listening to the audiobooks, but I'm listening to the Goblet of Fire right now, and I think I listened to the entire first part of the Tri-Wither tournament until I had deleted everything, which is like, I think, an hour or so. It's ridiculous, and I really hope that I have to do this not too often anymore. But that should be it from the time-lapse part of things. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. A couple of new things, a couple of stuff to talk about, but I hope it was enjoyable for you. Now, let's see how this all looks in the real-time part. And here we are in the real-time part, guys. And yes, I made it. I made the performance back to normal, which is a good sign. So you can see it's totally doable here. It's now actually about 20 FPS with a little bit of a CPU boost I'm running right now, and also closed all the other programs. But in fact, it was related to leaving the game running for a bit, just as this guy over here. Of course, it's a little bit choppy, but again, for a game like that, where it's not like based on an FPS or whatever, it is definitely absolutely doable. And yeah, we are here in the first viewing opportunity of this area. I'm actually quickly running around here to show you something I've done. There's another viewing right over here that is going to be for the next episode. I'm going to talk about that in a second. But what I actually want to show you, and yes, it's a bit more choppy while running around, but that is around. This is the big window I was talking about, and we are missing out on some education ports while there is an autosave in the background. It is pretty important to note that this is a rather difficult position for the viewing, simply because of the sun position. But at this point I gave up on the lighting in Planet Zoo and the shade. I really hope we will get some more control in the future of the sun position. I really wish that at least this little bit could go into the game and copy it from Prehistoric Kingdom to get like 100% free control of the lighting, to, you know, get a different angle and stuff, to get everything in a pretty light if needed. So yeah, this is the viewing over here. We are going to quickly take this mega, very tiny little pathway up the hill, so you guys can see a bit more of the habitat from above. This is still from Haribo's little pathway trail here, which I love, and this is what we changed. Now this is the beautiful new area in which you can have a decent look into the Africa habitat, and I am absolutely happy with how it turned out. There are a couple of things I need to mention here. So first of all, oh look at that, there's Giraffe coming for us. Look at that, this is so cool, just as it was supposed to be. So here are some things to consider. You've seen me doing this wall in the back here, the stone wall, and all the terraforming and stuff. And it is meant to actually have a wonderful view in here that is keeping you within the boundaries of Africa and making sure that you don't see too much of the backstage, which is effectively in the back here. And we do actually always have to focus on making the sidelines good and stuff. You can see a bit of the lake, you know, giving you that little bit of tease that there's the lake, a little bit of tease that there's the Africa area. But all over, it's important to focus on what this is all about. And this is the African habitat over here. Look at the giraffe running around there. Oh, look at that. Just a view for the people. That is so cool. And yeah, so this is where we are standing right over here. Let me just quickly see if I can take a little shortcut down here. And then even go via this bridge, just running crazily across the habitat and back into the position where we were. Look, that is the half dome in the back there, and if we just go this pathway up the hill, this is leading us to a bit of an incline, and now we are a little bit above the other areas, and it's so important to work with these little inklets every now and then. Alright, sorry, I just needed to make a break because my voice just broke away, and this is down to or due to my pollen allergy. It's getting a lot more heavy now as the weather is just not getting any colder here in Germany. It's still such an average shit weather. Sorry to say so, but it's like every single day the same. 2 to 8 degrees, a little bit of rain, a little bit of whatever cloudiness. It's so annoying for a month now. And yeah, flowers and stuff are flourishing already. So my nose is kind of suffering, and my body, whatever. I hate it. But yeah, this is another little viewing over here. You can see this little raised part, and there's the waterfall tumbling into the little creek, and this is then the viewing of this raised little, I don't even, it's like it's kind of a little canopy. I don't even know how you call that building. It's almost like a little tower. I can't really tell what exactly this building is, but look at the giraffe. Look at both of them. They're just going in there. Wait a second. No, we have to use that. I'm just going to jump out of here, and I'm just going to go around. I paused the game, and you can see performance now is really good, except there is a stutter like that. But now, look at that, 35 FPS right now. Look, this is exactly what I meant. Look how cool that is. You're just standing right over here, and the giraffe is just right in front of you. Let's quickly pause the game. Oh my god! Unpause the game. Oh, look at that. This is so cool. You just get the immediate look of the giraffe just in front of you. My goodness, that is so cool. Can we get the sun somehow to make the light better? I have no idea if there's any chance to... Nopedy nope. Nopedy nope nope. Nopedy nopedy nope. Ah, how unfortunate. But this is so cool. Look, this is exactly what I was trying to achieve with this area. Now the giraffe is just like getting a little bit of a food here. And look at that with the tongue. And yeah, let me see if I can just pause it in the right second with the tongue getting towards this item. No, I'm not quick enough. But isn't that cool? Like the full experience of the giraffe, like snacking something right in front of you. I'm very happy that it works, by the way. I'm very happy. Now, let's zoom out and talk about what's happening. This is the full view of the new habitat. You can see there is the giraffe, and also, I'm very sorry, I wanted to put the zebra and the antelope over. However, for some weird reasons, the save file was corrupt, and I needed to use the autosave, and this was just a couple of minutes earlier, but now I saved my file again. That's the most important thing of all, and have to get them over. So eventually I will all bring them from here into here, and now the question is, what is going on with this area? So as I have said, this is going to be all African. You can see there's now a lot better guest flow. I made sure that exactly this pathway over here, from this point all the way through here and all the way through here, going all that way, going up the hill, going all over here, having that little circular thing, which is going to look a lot better in the end, all the way to here. And I opened this spot up to connect this also. So we can technically have a vehicle that goes all the way from the elephant right across the whole African area up until the very entrance on this side. So compare that with this side, which has the same kind of technique applied with that one over here, going down this road, having this wider road going all the way here and connect this road even to this side that goes into this hub. We now have these two opposite hubs that are essential for the connection of deliveries and stuff, you know. And as I said last time, we have this new canal that goes in here as well. So a lot of things changing in terms of making the overall infrastructure better. And apparently we have a better way of connecting the area. So we have the heart of Africa, which is that tiny bit here with all the tiny habitats, now going into a bigger one, having the mandrills on this side. But now it makes actually sense because you can have like this wonderful tour through this area. You can go in the middle and from over here check the habitats and stuff. And as I've said, this is going to vanish, unfortunately for the people that are here right now, completely, because this entire area is unfortunately going to be completely erased. This is going to be changed into a forest, and we are going to highlight the terrain a little bit more, and the pathway is taking that route now down here and reconnects over to this side so that we have a lot better connection. And this entire thing will be like a little bit of a forest area. I'm gonna make it a bit more hilly, and as I said, we might throw some animals in that just live in the free. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do with this area. It might actually become erased as well, because my point is that this little trail up here is going to be reconnected to here as well, and the same goes for this train station, which is going to receive a bridge that crosses here. So we have a lot better connection in general. Now you might ask yourself, what is going to happen with this area? Now you can already expect this bit over here with this together is going to be for the gorillas. I have some cool ideas to be put in effect here. This is going to be a facility building. You will see how this is going to be utilized, and that is going to be the chimpanzee area, which is going to feature something really cool in the middle here. And we will have some spaces left. Maybe this space over here is going to be bonobo land. I have no idea if this is going to be bonobo land, if I'm going to throw them in with the chimpanzees, and we will have to check how this all works together. But I'm very excited for the next episodes. Honestly, if I would have had the time, I think I would have done this in one go, because it's all in my head already, and I think it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to be really cool. Anyhow, so let's hit play again for the last couple of seconds. I'm gonna look for a good spot to keep the camera still. There you go. Now a lot of thanks to all of you for the ongoing support. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It's going to be very exciting in the next weeks. So keep on commenting your ideas for the habitats. What kind of African animals you want to definitely see in this area? Do you like the change that we deleted this area and do a revamp of it? Are you looking forward to the next episodes? What do you want to see as well next? Is it gorillas? Is it chimpanzees? Let me put everything in the comments down below. And also, if you guys like my content, you want to help me out, there's definitely going to be a video for you now on screen that you can click on to watch more of the content, and that will help me out a lot. If not, well, just consider subscribing to stay here for the next time. And now I wish you a wonderful day. Talk to you in the next one. Have a good one, and goodbye.